Carrie, Grant and Tori are preparing to flip the fan and raise the sail for a physics-defining finale. They're about to find out with a real boat on real water if it's possible to really blow your own sail. But plain sailing, it's not.
I feel like there might be just a little element of danger here.
Hope that holds.
I mean, the swamp boat is not meant to have the fan backwards, and it's definitely not meant to have this giant lumbering sail on it.
How's your line of sight?
I think we might actually have a little danger of tipping. I just really don't want to get wet today.
All right, you guys ready to raise the sail?
Raise the mainsail! Trim the jib-jab!
I'm trimming it as fast as I can!
Now, in order for this myth to be confirmed, what we're looking for is forward movement due to the fan blowing into the sail. Not drifting, not just poking along. We're actually talking about directed forward movement. You get that? I'm looking at confirmed.
Okay, I think that looks parallel.
So what we're also interested in is the comparison of the speed of the fan blowing into the sail versus the fan pointed backwards.
All right, you guys ready?
Will we get improvement? Probably not. The target that we're looking at is 20 miles an hour. If we get even a quarter of that, 5 miles an hour, I would be very, very impressed.
Happy sailing!
Now, one might ask how I feel piloting our feat of naval engineering here, combining two things essentially that should not go together. My answer is that really there's no piloting involved. We turn this thing on, it either goes forward or it doesn't move at all.
Or, and it's a very real possibility, the shallow bottom boat with its top-heavy sail goes bottom up.
Okay, we're in.
And they're off. Tori, in the support vehicle, tows them out to open water. With plenty of space, no major winds or currents, it is the perfect location for a spot of scientific sailing.
All right, you ready to do this?
Ready.
Okay, here we go. This is blow your own sail with the full-size boat.
I gotta tell you, the funniest part about this whole experiment is when we first turned on that fan and the boat just started to spin and dip down in one direction. Grant and I both were super wide-eyed because we thought we were going over.
They are wildly out of control. There's no forward movement, just a whole lot of spinning and crashing.
So when we first started and I gunned it, we started turning in a circle and I was like, this is it, that's it, we're going in the water. But I turned it down and we tried it again, and actually what I found was, yeah, it's moving forward! You keep vectoring the fan, if you keep that thrust at the sail, you can actually get it to go forward. And you have to stay on it, you can't just set it and forget it. You have to keep working it, but eventually you do get to go forward.
There she blows! Look at it, they're going forward! We blew our own sail! It's working!
By ramping it up, Mythbusters style, the team has seemingly contradicted Newtonian physics. It's working, they're blowing their own sail.
3 miles an hour!
No doubt they'd go a lot faster with the fan facing backwards and no sail, but that's not the point. The myth asks, can you power a sailboat with your own fan? And you can.
Now, I don't know exactly what's going on because apparently we're flying in the face of Newton's laws, but here's what I think is happening. We have a significant amount of thrust coming out of this fan. It's hitting the sail. The sail can only push so much. The rest of that thrust gets reflected back, giving us a net thrust, pushing us in the forward direction.
And forward in both directions, because to prove that real wind wasn't a factor, Grant and Carrie sailed both ways.
Dude, that was awesome!
I cannot believe it. We blew our own sail.
This one is totally confirmed.
Totally confirmed. I mean, this thing went forward with the wind from our own fan.
Confirmed!
You may remember in the opening sequence, Adam and Jamie set off a Hollywood-style explosive fireball.
Bye-bye.
But despite having plenty, the guys didn't blow up the car just for fun. It was part of the test to find out if the sound effect you hear in the movies is anything like the real thing. So, first up, let's show you the ingredients of a typical silver screen Big Bang.
2 gallons of gasoline, ringed in some det cord and stuck in the front seat. That's how Hollywood makes its spectacular fireball explosions.
But what do they really sound like?
Bye-bye. It's quite a difference, huh?
Much like the punch, the movie version has a lot more texture and depth. Quite simply, it's more dramatic than the real thing.
How did the waveforms compare?
They're clearly very different. The gas explosion we just did had a very sudden onset, and the energy is concentrated in a very narrow range of low frequencies. Whereas the classic movie explosion has a much slower onset, and the energy is over a much wider range of frequencies, and it lasts for a much, much longer time. It's a very different sound.
Which sounds like a busted myth. But the guys aren't done yet. They're not getting bogged down with just one big boom. If the sound of a petrol-fueled fireball doesn't match the movies, maybe a really high explosive will. Cue our old friend C4.
Now we're gonna blow this car up for realsies and check out how that sounds. We're also going to commensurately check how it looks, because, you know, that's just like an ancillary benefit.
All right, here we go.
2.2 pounds of C4 in 3, 2, 1. Oh! Kaboom! That was a good, solid thud.
Kind of makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, don't it?
It does.
Yes, a good, solid thud. But once again, it's clearly a completely different sound to the sound effect.
I'm looking at the top, the movie explosion, and I'm seeing this big, wide bandwidth of sound, and I see the C4, and I see nothing like that. I see one sharp impulse, a little bit of surrounding noise, but nowhere near the depth and the range of the movie explosion. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think that one's busted.
Yes, the contrast between the real explosions and the film sound effect is clear as a bell. And that leaves this final movie myth as busted as the car.
Let's get out of here before our shoes get all dirty.
Nu, James May's Toy Stories.
So you think computer games are more exciting than old-fashioned toys? Maybe you should think again. With the help of the great British public, it's time to liberate them from the toy cupboard, supersize them, and unleash their true potential.